Okay, so I'm going to steal some of your content. Yeah, I'm taking one of your photos right now and I'm cropping off the corner and I'm re-uploading it. Question, does anybody still know it's yours? Or are they thinking, hey, it's a Tuesday, I get a free picture of a pretty girl on the internet? Yeah, that thought kind of makes my stomach drop a little bit too, and that's what we're going to be talking on today. I don't know if y'all remember my golden rules that I set for myself when I began content creation. Okay, today we're going to go pretty in depth on one of those golden rules. And that golden rule is, say it with me please, watermark your shit. Watermark it. I don't care. Oh, it's just a censored. Nope, don't care. Oh, it's just a selfie. Don't care. Watermark your shit. All right? So today we are going to break down what a watermark actually is, why you must use one on every single piece of content you post, and how to make it the right way and how to place it also on your content so it's not this glaring, annoying thing, but it's also glaringly annoying to remove, y'all. Let's start real simple with the French toast as a watermark. It is just your digital signature. That's it. It can be text. It can be a graphic logo. It can be both. It's up to you. It sits on top of all of your photos, all of your videos, all of your content and says, hi, I made this. This is mine. That's it. That's really all it is. But that little itty bitty tiny watermark does a snark ton of heavy lifting for you and your business. So here's why you need it day one. Okay, day one. Don't be like me and have your content used to scam someone else because you didn't do this day one. Okay, first thing you need to know, content theft, real and rampant, you guys. People screen record, they download, they scrape, and then they repost and they profit off of your content. You know, when your mark is on top of that content, you make it a bit harder for anyone to claim that your work is theirs. Second big important thing about watermarks, brand protection and recognition. You guys, stuff gets scraped. It's going to. I'm sorry. Your content is going to get shared off of your platform where you never planned it to be. I can't stop that. You can't stop that. If you put content out there, that will happen. Okay? But if someone sees your image with no watermark, again, pretty girl free on the internet. However, if they see, let's say, your handle for your watermark, they have a direct path to kind of walk on back to you, y'all. Third is a legal backup. If you ever are in the situation where you have to file a DMCA, a visible watermark is taking it away from your word versus theirs. Now you have proof of ownership, a literal signature baked into that content itself. And finally, y'all, it looks professional. Yeah, a clean, consistent watermark quietly says, hey, I did this, I'm proud of this, and I want to protect it. It builds recognition over time, and it helps your brand look pretty damn polished. So what goes in a good watermark, okay? We gotta keep that funnel tight, okay? We're gonna keep it focused. The only one single thing you absolutely must include is your brand, name, or handle. That is it. Nothing else matters. The rest is just cherry on top. That is the point. That is what people need to know who have found it. They need to know who made it, and that will get them back to you. That is a quick search, y'all. Don't get me wrong. Don't paste an entire URL on there. It's not cute. It's tacky, and most places will not allow it. And even if they do allow it, it's not effective. Your handle alone, that will do the job. So if just a text handle is all you want, boop, stop right there. You're done. You nailed it, girl. If you want to personalize it, you get a little bit more creative and fluid with it, right? You can generally add a small logo or a simple graphic element that fits your brand. The key word there, big key word, simple. Simple. My own personal watermark for my content creation is literally just my name. That's it. My handle, and sometimes I'll use one that has a little rope element behind the text, but that's it. My name ends in rope, the graphic fits, it boosts contrast. I'm a shibari, I specialize in shibari, so it fits. But that is all you need. Clean, on brand, readable, and recognizable. So let's talk design best practices so your watermark looks damn good on every photo and every video. First, we already said that keyword, keep it simple. Simple, simple, simple. If your stage name is super long, super complicated, try and tighten it down, right? Avoid those long, complicated names and avoid super intensely detailed, ornate logos or even busy art with teeny tiny details, okay? They will not fit nicely or they will not scale down. So stick to your stage name or handle and a simplistic logo. If you use a logo, pick the minimal version. Be very cautious though, y'all, again, of the rules of where you're posting. So for example, Reddit, let's just look at subreddits individually. Like a shit ton of them will only allow you to use your exact Reddit username as your watermark. This is another reason why it's such a good idea from day one to make sure all of your accounts and all of your platforms are named the same damn thing, your brand. Second, it's got to be legible, but not this big, this big. It's got to be legible at tiny, tiny, tiny sizes. Most watermarks end up tiny and often even semi-transparent. So those fancy, swoopy, script, cursive, you can't. They are going to vanish once you place them on an image or even worse, a moving video. Test it. Really test it out. Plop it on your image, zoom out far, and then ask yourself, can I still read this? And I'm not talking on your computer screen. No, look it on your phone screen. Tiny, tiny screen, right? Throw it on a really busy background and ask again, can I still see this? If you can't read it under those conditions, it's got to change. It has to be applicable to all images and videos. Third tip I can give, use really high contrast. Your watermark is pretty much garbage if it's going to disappear into the image itself, right? We don't want to be obtrusive, but we need to be there, present. So the two easiest options around that work across almost everything are white text with a black shadow, or flip it and reverse it, black text with a white glow or outline. If you're placing text on top of the logo or a small like graphic shape, make absolutely sure that text is still so clearly visible. If not, happens, try adding a semi-transparent like background box right behind the text. You really need it like semi-transparent. Think around like 40 to 60% opacity. That little itty bitty box of color or light or whatever, that can be the difference between gone into the background or actually legible. Fourth, simple yet hard to remove, right? Those are the goals. Simple, hard to remove, okay? This is about how you build it and place it. Think multiple contrasting tones in the watermark itself make it, well, to be honest, more of a pain in the ass to get rid of cleanly. That rope element behind my text was partially added for that reason. It just makes it a little bit harder for a jerk to go in and just erase that out and post my shit up, right? Okay, so there's the long and short on watermarks, but how do you actually make one? I get this question a lot. I hear this question a lot. Let's make the actual file. The platform you design your watermark on really doesn't freaking matter. It just matters how you export it. For myself personally, I'm a Canva girl, always have been, always will be. So for that, you would start on a square 1x1 canvas. That's going to help you just make sure your design is centered and prevent like really weird empty margins that can get in the way when placing it. Then you're going to get it whoop, 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 exactly how you want it. And then 3 non-negotiables when you export. You ready? Highest available quality every time. PNG format and transparent background. That is so important. If you don't get the transparent background, it's not a watermark, it's a sticker and won't work. If you are using Canva, here is kind of the quick workflow to get through it. Open that square design 1x1, like I said, build your text or your graphic or whatever you want, get it exactly in the center, keep it inside the edge margins so that nothing's getting cut off. Let's say you are using photos or you are using graphics. Remove the backgrounds of those photos or graphics first, so that will make sure you don't have these giant blocks of color from the graphic itself, kind of just destroying your transparency. And when you export, this is the big deal. This is the juicy bits. PNG, and check that box that says transparent background. Save that nonsense, and then go ham. Like, go ham. Test it on as many photos as you want, as many videos as you can. Try dark, try light, try busy, try boring. If you can read it across all of those different environments, you nailed it. Okay, so let's say you've made your watermark. Now, how do you actually use it without losing it from the time sink of watermarking every single mother trucking piece of content? I got you 3 tools. We're going to go into them. Ready? Bulk photos, specifically, Watermarkly. It's an app, might be a website. I know it's an app though. It is my go-to when I am not working in Lightroom. So if you're handling a lot of images and you need speed, Watermarkly, y'all, she's fast, she's reliable, and she's cheap as all hell. You just upload a bunch of your photos, drop your mark one time, and then just go through and position it how you want it on each one, set the opacity, and export. You're good. Now, okay, if you're already in Lightroom, y'all know I'm a Lightroom girl. If y'all are Lightroom folks too, you don't need another platform or app or site. Lightroom has watermarking built in. It's pretty tucked away, but it is there and it works. So when you go to export, you're going to scroll the export options, export as, and you're going to go into set watermark, and then you can set it up and even upload your own photo. So for your videos, I hear this one a lot. CapCut. You guys, so easy. Use the overlay feature, drop your PNG on top, size it, place it, splice it if you want, export, and you're done. You're done. If you're already editing in CapCut, whether it's a deep, crazy edit or just a cut here and there, this adds no extra time once you get your template set. You can even save it into your brand kit. Okay, let's get into placement, because this is where people either just nail that or they make it just so easy to just whoop, quick erase. There is a balance. Unobtrusive is the goal, but hard to remove is the requirement. Okay, that's tricky. Here's what we need to look at doing. So we're going to get that watermark and we're going to put it in a spot that's difficult to crop out without ruining the image. So think like mid frame. That's going to be a shitload better than in the bottom right hand corner, because do you know how easy that is to cut off? Just a you're done. It's gone. If you are near a focal point, right, weave that mark just enough into the subject that cropping would just destroy the composition. You also want the mark to sit across different colors, different textures, different light sources, etc., all at the same time. So, for example, looking at my wall, if I put it here, so easy to remove. But let's say I put it here with all these different textures, or here, that's going to take a lot more work. AI removal tools struggle when the mark spans multiple tones and edges. That's a win for us. We love that for us, right? Okay, and then the big watermarking question I get all the time. Do I put the watermark on me? You can absolutely consider letting a portion of the mark touch your body. Do not get me wrong, right? You don't want to look like you have a tattoo that's your watermark, right? You don't want it fully over any part of your body, but a tasteful overlap on like a leg here, there, an arm, foot, it gets harder and harder to remove if it is just touching the skin. But here's what not to do, right? Bottom right corner, bottom left corner, top, I don't care. Corners are the first thing a thief is gonna just chop off and call it a day. Also, don't place it over that big blank wall where it's literally just, y'all, it's just boop and it's gone. It's gone. A few practical tips as you get started with watermarking. Save a couple of versions with different opacities or figure out in your program how to adjust the opacity there. Save a small and medium size if you need it so that you can match the scale of different outputs without overstretching the original first image. If you have the capacity in your editor, be it video, photo, whatever, to build templates, y'all, you're in a good spot. Build a template per platform. So for example, your portrait TikTok template has the watermark placed for a vertical video. Your square Instagram template has it placed for a square, yada, yada, yada. That way you're not eyeballing it every time. And even if you have to move to adjust it a little bit, it's still pretty much in that area. So before we get towards closing out, let's talk our main brain, because our main brains like to sabotage us. And I know a lot of people hear watermarking and they go, that is an extra step. Thank you, but no thank you. Have a nice day. Yes, watermarking is tedious at first, but here's the truth. It becomes muscle memory. Now, if I send something out that I didn't watermark, I even now have buyers say, hey, you didn't watermark that, Allie. And I'll be like, thank you, rip it down, fix it. You guys, it's muscle memory at this point, okay? Once you kind of set up your files, your templates, your programs, it is a few clicks extra. And that 30 seconds extra protects your business, your brand, and sometimes, y'all, your fucking safety. It's worth it. So remember why this matters, okay? Leaks will happen. Not might, will. People will share. Yeah? You cannot control every POS on the internet, right? But you can control whether your name stays very much attached to your work. If that image or clip that gets stolen is now floating across the World Wide Web, you're fine. Your handle's going with it. If you have to send a takedown, the evidence is right there, literally printed on the content. If a fan sees a repost of yours or, stolen content, they can be like, I see that watermark girl, I'm going to that account, right? That gives them a way to find you. This is kind of the whole final point of it. If you are tempted to add your links, any link, but worse, like a full list of links or your domain, or don't, just try and resist it. Just try. That is not what a watermark is for. Your watermark is more of a little like street sign, not a direct roadmap, right? So keep it clean, keep it consistent. Over time, that consistency is going to build recognition. People are going to start to clock your watermark and they're going to know it's you before they even kind of read it. They're just going to be like, ooh, I know that. If you collaborate, something to keep in mind, make sure any content where you and your collaborator both appear, both those watermarks are present on the content. That protects both of you if you have both watermarks on there, but they should both be there because both of you should be found if that content is stolen. If you are, okay, so I hear this a lot. I get this, right? If you are worried about ruining the look, remember, unobtrusive does not mean invisible. You can keep it tasteful. You can make it effective still while being tasteful. You don't have to take up the whole image to be seen. Size it so it feels integrated, not overlaid. Tuck it near lines in the frame of the body. Keep that contrast. Let it live inside the photo instead of sitting like a sticker in the bottom right corner. You know what I mean? All right, this has gotten so long. I've been rambling. I'm aware of that. It's kind of where we're at. So I'm going to leave you with this. Watermarking is not about being a paranoid Mr. Paranoia, right? It is about claiming ownership of your art and your work. It's not the big shield that's gonna stop the sword of every bad actor and scammer, no, but it keeps your name attached to your art. It makes takedowns easier. It helps buyers and fans find you when content travels without your consent, and it shows you take your craft and your art and your business seriously. It protects your future revenue, which is mildly the whole point of building a business around your content. So do not let it's too much work be the reason it is easy for people to steal from you or impersonate you. Protect your work. Protect your brand. Watermark your shit, y'all. All of it. If you don't think it needs to, yes, it does. Yes, it does. If you guys think you want me to do a full tutorial, like video step-by-step tutorial through building a watermark in Canva and then how to use it on these platforms I mentioned, hoot and holler at me in the comments. I will hear you. We can do that for sure. But, okay, do not wait 6 months until you have the perfect design. Nope. The first day, your first photo, your first video, whatever goes out, your first watermark should go with it. Protect your shit from day one. All right, y'all. I hope you are so darn safe, so dang sane. Ducky is now wagging her tail. All right, I need to go pet that baby. I hope you are flourishing. Thanks, y'all.